drop it. And then you unscrew these three here. And that gives you access to your lens train, which you can move by hand.
Yeah. Okay.
Most importantly, when you're cleaning, before you clean, run the lens train all the way forward so that you can get the back lens.
Yeah. 마지막 거.
Then you take your Kim wipe with your denatured alcohol Windex solution, spray some on here, and clean. Usually, you take the Kim wipe, stick it in there, and clean.
Yeah.
That's where it gets.
okay, right?
Yes. So you wipe it, and then it's gonna need to be dried also.
Okay.
So you first do it with the solution on, and then you do it with the dry. Then you do the same thing between these lenses, that lens, that lens.
But what did you mean
all
by
of the
like a lens flow or something like that in the beginning?
No,
What were you saying?
the lens train, this whole train moves. Okay? And you won't be able to access that back lens if the whole train is up.
Right.
So you need to run the lens train out.
Down. Yeah. Okay.
Which you can see, it's almost all the way to the edge here.
Okay. Then you're saying to push this all the way down.
With the fixture on, you have to run it out.
We have to turn it on. Okay, I see.
Or gobo and take.
Yeah, the Gobo, same thing. You can just pop these out, clean it with the Kim wipe and the solution.
Okay.
Get all the fog juice off of it.
And color same. Okay.
Say again?
Color? Well, colors as
wheel,
well?
the color wheel. The
Yeah,
color
it's the
wheel
same
is
thing?
the same thing, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a little bit more complicated. You have to take the, we'll put this back together and then I'll show you that. And you can just use a regular screwdriver. You don't need to use the gun. It's just fast.
Right.
So first you want to make sure that you clear these two bimbas. I actually will go ahead and connect those first so that they're out of the way and they don't get pinched. If they get pinched, the fans won't run. So that's how you clean the lens train.
Okay,
now,
good.
as you're doing it, what I recommend is taking a flashlight and shining the flashlight in to see as you go. As you're cleaning it, you're going to make streaks. So you have to do it over again to make sure until you get it clean.
Right. Okay.
So as you're doing it, look in with the flashlight to see how
Make
you're
sure it's
doing
clean, yeah.
before you button everything back up, because the fog juice smears first. Then you need to reapply the denatured alcohol a second time until eventually the lens becomes clean.
Of course. This is the fog hazer.
이 컬러를 어떻게 빼냐고.
네, 이걸
Yes.
지금 보여줄 거예요. 지금 보여주실 거예요.
컬러.
You could do the same thing with the color.
네.
Don't take them out though.
빼지 말래요.
Do it
오케이.
in place. So you wipe
있는 상태에서 하래요.
wipe down the color, both sides.
양쪽 다.
Just take the dirt off, and the same thing with the fog juice, also come right off. You can actually see into it.
Yeah.
You know, if it comes off. These are clean, but you'll see it come off. If it's dirty, it'll be on. You can use tissues too, but this is lint free.
Yeah, this is
That's
better,
why we
actually.
recommend the
Yeah.
Kim wipes. Kim Tech.
그리고 혹시 여기 반사경,
Reflector?
램프
Same thing.
반사경.
Same solution.
똑같아요. 이런 식으로.
The same stuff.
이거 하면 돼요.
We also recommend that you replace the lamp at about 700 hours.
How do you know that?
It's in the lamp timer.
Oh, it
Whenever
times
you
it?
whenever you replace the lamp,
램프 타임이
you
있어.
reset the lamp timer, and it counts the hours.
Okay. Oh, I didn't-
700 hour.
Okay.
네,
700.
700 hours. Okay.
This is almost ready for us to replace. It's starting to get a little pitted. Yeah, I'll take it out for you.
clean.
I mean, it looks fairly clear.
Yeah.
Yours probably look white, look like a golf ball at this
I know,
point.
I know. Yeah.
They need to be replaced.
Yeah.
It's going to affect the output.
Yeah.
Same thing with the reflector. You wipe it down with the Kim wipe, and I would not put a lot. I wouldn't put a lot of Windex and denatured on it. I would do it like it's a little damp here from when I was cleaning. Feel it? That's good enough.
저렇게만 하래요.
And then
많이
just wipe it
많이
down.
쓰지 말고.
Whatever you have left on there
Yeah.
is fine.
Oh, good.
And also no cracks. No cracks here and no cracks in there. That's also a reflector in there.
여기 말하는 거지?
아니요, 양쪽 다 위에 안팎다. 크랙이 없어진대요.
여기
네.
저기까지?
네.
아.
And these two random cracks.
That's correct.
오케이. 저 안에 이 안에 있는 렌즈 아까 그 똑같은 건가? 이 렌즈도 똑같이 하는 거냐?
Even this one too? Even this lens? Clean the same method?
No, that's part of the module, which we're going to take out in a second. But this reflector you can clean with
Okay,
this.
okay.
Just this reflector
안에
and this
렌즈는
reflector.
안 해도 돼?
Okay. How about the
From
module
inside here.
then?
That's next. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to put the lamp back
보여줄
in.
거래요. 다시 보여줄 거래요.
아니 아까 램프 4개는 알겠는데 여기 하나 있는 게 램프 4개 중에 하나인가?
아주?
These two things here, the lamp and the reflector, are what are going to affect the output more than anything else. So if you've got a light that's starting to look dim, it's going to be because that reflector is either cracked or the lamp is white,
Yeah.
pitted.
Right.
I know they're expensive, but it really does affect the output of the light.
Yeah, that's not it.
All right. So then, the thing you're asking about now is the color mod,
예.
which are the color wheels.
예.
So what we're going to do is we're going to remove it. We're going to take it out of the fixture, and I'll show you how to clean that.
뺀다고?
You can't clean without taking out?
Not
돼요.
effectively.
안 돼요. 빼지 않고서는 청소를 못 해요. 오케이.
So it's these two screws here and these two screws here, not the one that sticks out. Don't unscrew that. That's what you're going to use to take it out.
이거 걸어서 해야겠다.
See? And I've already disconnected this
Yeah.
and removed this from the track. When you put this back in, make sure that this goes into this white track. See where that is down in there?
예.
And then those simply click back into that spot there.
아, 오케이.
So go ahead, you take it out.
해보래요.
You take it out.
해보시래요. 해보래요.
That's just
해보래요.
that part,
이거?
yeah. That way.
밖으로
Just push,
당겨서
just
밖으로
push.
당겨야 돼. 밖으로 당겨서 빼야 돼요.
이렇게 당겨서
밖으로 먼저 빼고 나서 이제 당기시면 돼요.
Okay, got it.
똑같은 방법으로 다시 넣어.
See, you missed the track. You missed the track.
예.
It's not in the track. It's got to go in this track.
흰색 안에 들어가야 돼요.
오케이 오케이.
Feel how it clicks?
어떻게 하는지 알겠죠?
That's proper. Okay, great. So now that we've removed this and we've removed the other screws, the module simply slides out.
아, 오케이.
Okay? Now we take it over to our work surface. So now it's going to be here. And then we need to take it apart, wheel by wheel. What happens is, as the fans bring the air in, it also brings in the fog juice, it brings in dirt, and that winds up staying on the wheels.
Right.
Especially with the fog juice, it acts like a magnet. So now you can see the dimmer wheel and all these wheels are very clean.
Yeah.
That's what you want it to look like when you're done.
CMI color.
Let me get, I'm not talking.
이걸 어떻게 빼냐는 거지.
해야지.
그래 밑에 거 닦지. 아니면 뭐 이렇게 넣어서 하나? 아까처럼?
So what you want to do is you want to loosen these nuts. Don't remove them, just loosen it so that you can move this forward and we can take these belts off.
조금만 당겨가지고.
네, 얘들을 느슨하게 하도록. 그래서 할 수 있도록.
So it just takes a little bit to loosen, and then they slide forward like that. Then you can remove the belt. So you need to do that to all these. And I like to have a bigger work surface than this, because as I take these off, as I take each one off, there's spacers that are in here that have to come off, and then I take this has to get loosened too. This is your sensor, so that has to be clear of that. Of course this is seized on here. So you take the spacer off, and what I do is I make plenty of room for everything on both sides. So I'm going to take the wheel, the spacer, take all of that off. Of course this one doesn't want to come off. Put it off to the side, take them all off, and then I clean them as I go back on. This also has to get moved out of the way, which there's a screw underneath to take this out. See where this screw is underneath here? That screw? You have to come underneath and unscrew that so that this sensor is out of the way. So that as you're taking it off, you need everything to be out of the way. So as this one's giving me trouble coming off, but you basically get the idea. You take each of the wheels off and you use the Kim wipes, clean them off, but there's spacers in between everything that you have to make sure go back in the same way. So you might want to do a video as you're taking it off so that you know where all those spacers wind back up.
I think so.
Thank you.
And then you put it back on, and then the amount of tension you want to have is not too tight. Not too loose where you can see that, but not tight, and not as tight as possible. Just when you put it back on, what you want to see is that when you spin it, see how it keeps moving? That's actually a little tight. So it spins freely. That's how tight you want it, about like that. So then you tighten all those back up once you've got everything clean.
너무 심하게 안 뜯겨도 되네.
Make sure everything spins. Now you see there's no dirt on here, so it's clean. No dirt, no fog juice, but that has to come all the way forward, and then you can tighten that up. You want to make sure that your magnet is still attached on your dimmer wheel. This is the dimmer wheel, the top one. And then you also have to put this back in. We didn't remove it, but that's also got to go back in before you then put your, oh, there's my spacer. See my spacer stuck from here? That spacer is here. Then you basically just put it back together the same way you did so that your sensor is through the gate here. Screw all of your screws back in, and then you put your dimmer back in and your whole color mod back in.
뭐 하나 물어보자.
Here's the question.
Yes.
우리가 고보가 본드가 자꾸만 조금씩 열 때문에 떨어지는 게 한두 개씩 생긴다.
You know the Gobo design? And then we try to put it onto the frame with glue, right? But because of the heat, the amount of heat that it gets, sometimes the glue comes off.
What kind of glue are you using?
무슨 거 뭐 쓰네요? 본드.
본드 아니 우리는 안 샀다. 우리는 안 썼다고 지금.
We didn't use it at all. We just comes like
처음에
that. It
있던
comes
거
out like that with the company.
뭘 써야 될지
So I
모른다.
don't know what glue that I should be using.
You can re-glue it with a clear silicone.
You have it?
I can show you too.
보여줄게요.
So you're saying that you've had a problem where this glue will release and this glass will fall out of the goba holder.
예, 예.
So you can re-glue it back in with silicone.
이렇게 놓고 쏘라는 거지.
아니요. 그 이야기는 아직 안 했어요. 지금 일단 이 사람 말은 저 글루를 써서 할 수 있대요. 다시 제 글루를 다시 또 붙일 수 있대요.
글루건?
그러니까 본드. 지금 보여준대요. 그게 뭔지.
클리너는 어디서 사지?
This is what we use when we have to re-glue
인터넷 뒤져봐야
the
될 것 같아요.
glass. It's clear silicone. Clear silicone. And a very little bit. Put a little bit on a Q-tip or a toothpick, and it shouldn't be any more than that. If you put too much in it, it'll show through the
Right.
through the
light.
gate.
예.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
And let it dry. It takes 24 hours overnight to dry.
20하루 걸려요. 드라이 하는데. Okay.
Then once you put it in the light, it's actually good to heat it up. That'll solidify it. But you have to let it dry.
그렇게 24시간 드라이 해놓고 다시 넣어가지고요. 켜가지고 불을 쬐줘래요. 그리고 쬐줘가지고 이게 완전히 딱 붙을 수 있도록.
오케이, 오케이. 이거 하고 아까 클리너는 어디서 샀었냐?
Where can I buy this and then the cleaner, the denature
I think
alcohol?
we have both. We have the Kim wipes. We have denatured alcohol here. But you could also buy these things, the Windex, the silicone at a Home Depot or
This
a Lowe's.
they sell in Home Depot. This one?
Yes, sir.
Oh, this one they do.
I think so.
Okay, but that one, the denature alcohol or water, and then this, we have to
sell
order
those.
it.
We have those here. That's where we get them.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure
I
they're
think-
available for purchase. But you could probably get it elsewhere
Okay.
also.
뭐딴 데 찾아보려면 찾아봐도 되는데.
And the
뭐.
Windex for sure you can
여기서
get.
사면 되냐고.
Can I buy it now here?
Yeah, sure. I'll take the things that you want.